Yeah, this is my opinion, and it's just that. It's an opinion. Everybody's got one of those, and like rear ends, some of them stink. A lot of them stink. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to HR Repair. This is your host, Hey Ray. Today, going to be a little bit of a different topic. Not going to be necessarily a repair per se, maybe just an opinion of mine. I don't think it'll be controversial. I don't know, but it's maybe to clear a few things up. Did an oil change on this thing, a full service, and it reminded me of a few things that have happened in the past several months, actually ever since I got into business. And I just thought, well, I might as well make a video on it. And this hopefully helps you guys understand why our services as a small shop are going to be more expensive than your Speed Lubes, the Walmarts, the dealership, and all those places that offer, their quick lube and out the door you go. So stay tuned. Maybe you'll agree with me, maybe you won't, but let's find out. Contact. So I had a few customers that have complained because they get an oil change done, or they ask me to do an oil change on their vehicle, and I give them a price. And sometimes, if they're price shopping, oftentimes 99.9% of the time, they will either say, okay, I'll think about it, or about 50% of the time they'll be like, oh my goodness, you're double the price of the dealership and the Speed Lube that I go to. Well, that's fine. And here's why. I don't want to be cheaper than the dealership or the Speed Lube, because I feel like my oil, I use Mobil 1. Well, some of these other oils I've got Fram, but as a general rule for engine, I like to use Mobil 1. And what I feel like is a superior oil, this is just my opinion, is Schaefer's. And I use this out of the bulk. So we use Schaefer's 5W40. I have 5W30 and 15W40. I use the 5W40 in a lot of the newer trucks, diesels, as in the Eco Diesel. The newer Ram Cummins uses 5W40. The Power Stroke, 6.7 Power Stroke, you can either use 10W30 diesel or 5W40. So I use 5W40. Now, the Duramax, as far as I think even the modern Duramax still uses 15W40. Here's why our oil changes are more expensive. For one, we use higher quality oil. Two, most shops that are my size, maybe even a little bigger, I know the shops in my area. I've got a good relationship with the other three shops in this town. We've borrowed tools back and forth. And we're really not competition with each other. There's a shop that just sent a truck to me the other day that was a diesel because he didn't want to work on it. I was willing to work on it and got it fixed. We have no hard feelings against each other. We're technically not competing with each other. We're here to help each other and essentially provide a service to the community. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I understand that not everybody in every area has the opportunity to have small shops like mine and some of these others that try to provide a good quality service at an affordable price. The only thing being is oil changes and services usually on our style of shop will cost more and sometimes almost double of what your Speed Lube, and if your name is a Speed Lube and you provide a good service, I'm sorry, but I'm just saying the drive-in oil change places. Let's word it that way, just so I don't get in trouble. Legal ramifications. But here's why we are more expensive. For one, and I said this before, we use higher quality oil. We use higher quality filters. And for the most part, in my shop, I know, and I can speak for myself, and I know that there's a few other shops in this area. We don't try to upsell you on things. One of the things that a dealership and a lot of lube places want to do is you get down below 50% on your brakes, they want to sell you new brakes and rotors. You get a shop that has an alignment machine. They want to throw an alignment at you. These brakes are still about 50% on this truck. There's no reason to recommend brakes on this truck. The reason they do is because they can make good money off of changing brakes and rotors on a truck. They don't make that much money off of a $65 oil change. If you figure that it takes them at least 30 minutes to pull that truck in, over the pit, lift, whatever, to change your oil, you're going to have oil and a filter in there and possibly washer fluid. By the time you get all of that, you're not going to make hardly anything off of that oil change. What they want you to do then is they'll recommend an air filter or a cabin air filter or brakes, rotors, things that are easy to change and quick that they can do quick and make good money off of. My shop, I know, I can speak for myself and Haas. Yep, it's good, isn't it? Truck good to go. We do not upsell things. If your air filter doesn't need to be changed, I'm not going to change it. If your cabin air filter is good, I'm not going to change it. And here's why. Because my reputation, I am a small shop, and my reputation is worth more than making that extra $50 on a cabin air filter. Now, the other thing that dealerships, not all dealerships, but a lot of dealerships and a lot of these drive-in speed lube places will do is they have a mechanic, I say mechanic, they will have a lube tech that will be doing your oil change. Now, lube tech sounds like a high-paying job. It's not. It's your guy that, and I'm not knocking the guy that is new into this business, but he's just learning. Everybody has to start somewhere. I started at the ripe age of 16, and when I first started, I was not able to be on my own. I had to have somebody follow me around, and I took a lot of training for at least 3 to 4 years. So you'll have that guy doing your oil changes, and he may have had 24 hours of training on how to do oil changes and whatnot. Is he going to recognize the rest of your vehicle is okay or not okay? Probably not, because he's not as involved with the rest of the vehicle as somebody like our shop that has the mechanic that does the rest of the work on your vehicle also do your oil change. Now, I know that an oil change happens every 5, and some of them are going 10,000 miles. I do not recommend that at all. I think that's way too long. I think, well, I've got a whole other idea of why these engines are recommending to go as long as they are on oil changes. It just, to me, it's not good, but that's for a whole other video. But I know that it happens quite a bit, and if you put a lot of miles on a vehicle, that seems to get pretty expensive. But here's one thing to consider. If you're going to keep this vehicle for a long time, say 100,000 miles or more, yeah, you're going to spend more for a shop like mine to go do an oil change every 5 to 7,000 miles. But we feel, and I feel, that in the end, you're going to spend less on repairs because we're not going to oversell a battery, an air filter, cabin air filter, brakes, rotors, and all that. In the end, how much do you actually save? So, if you want to go to the dealership and you want to go to the drive-in lube place that is able to get you an oil change quick and you drive up, they change your oil, you don't have to schedule or anything like that, I understand, and that's fine. You can do that. But what I have a problem with is when somebody feels the need to tell me that just so you know, you're double the price of Walmart or the dealership, and I hope you know that you're going to price yourself out of oil changes. That's fine. I don't make enough off of oil changes to justify trying to compete with those places. So you make your choice. It's fine either way. Yeah, this is my opinion, and it's just that. It's an opinion. Everybody's got one of those, and like rear ends, some of them stink. A lot of them stink. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? I personally feel that if you find a good small shop, it's worth your money to spend just a little bit more on an oil change to have them do it than it is to go to the dealership and you have to wonder, do my brakes really need changed? Is my air filter really dirty? I just changed the air filter on the last oil change. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. This is my thought process, and I feel like it's correct. And just to be clear, this customer here is not the one that has a problem with my prices. Matter of fact, I have a problem with the price that I have to charge to service this Eco Diesel. It scared me the first time I priced it out to him. He doesn't mind, and he's a good customer. So it's not this customer. This just reminded me of a few people that have complained. So you guys let me know down below what you guys think. And I'm not saying that I'm the best shop around, but also the other thing you might want to consider is a lot of these places that you go in, dealerships, they're owned by a corporation. A lot of my shops like mine were owned by a little family guy that is just trying to make an honest living and do a good job at it. I get it. This business has a reputation for trying to shaft people, but it's shops like mine and a few others that are trying to change that mentality. Dealerships and the big corporate places are not helping it. So let me know what you guys think. Again, this was a little bit of a different video and maybe a little bit off the rails, but it's something that popped into my head on this Friday morning, and I thought I wanted to voice my opinion and see what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you guys anything, and it helps me out a bunch. See you on the next one. Bye!